তলাবুল ইলমি রিদাতুন আলা কুল্লি মুসলিমিন আলা কুল্লি মুসলিমিন।
Good morning my dear students. On behalf of Khair Public School, I am Shadab Ahmed. Now I am going to revise, we are going to revise that chapter which I taught you before 5 and 6 lectures. Now atom and molecules. We all discuss about many topics which I taught you. The topic is law of chemical combination and the Dalton's theory and valency and ion and so on. So now we are going to revise that topic which I taught you before 3 and 5 lectures, 5 and 6 lectures. Now the first topic is law of chemical combination. Law of chemical combination. Law of chemical combination. Laws of chemical combination. My dear students, look here very carefully that in the law of chemical combination we have the two subheading. Then first is law of conservation of mass, and the second is, and the second subheading in the law of chemical combination is law of constant proportion. Look very carefully. Now I am going to revise that topic which I taught you before 3 and 5 and 6 lectures. I taught you, and now we are going to discussion about the law of the chemical combination. And the law of the chemical combination is state two subheadings which I written in your green board. Law of conservation of mass and the law of the constant proportion. Now we are going to know what is law of that, matlab law, that means law of conservation of mass. What is this? That what the law says, what that law says, that law of conservation of mass, law of conservation of mass. Now we are going to discuss about that. What is law? What is law of conservation of mass? That what is the law of conservation of mass? That means the law of conservation of mass is state that what state that mass cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. That means if you create anything, if you want to make some things, let we know about example. From example, law of conservation of mass. Law of conservation of mass, I am going to tell about once again. That law of conservation of mass. What is law of conservation of mass? That means the law of conservation of mass is state that mass cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. That means never destroy in a mass in a chemical reaction if you want to make anything. That means if you want salt, any salt, if you want to make juice, just like a juice, let example of juice. If you want to make a juice, so we must have to take water and take some sugar, then it form juice. Just Look here, look very carefully, students. That water, if we take the water of the 5 liter, if we take the water of the 5 liter and the sugar, if we take 1 kg of the sugar, and then the product, that means juice will be formed or will be appeared. If we take the 5 liter of the water and we take 1 kg of the sugar, then the product will be appear 5 and 1 6 liter of the juice. 6 liter of the juice. So that means there is the clarify that the law of conservation of mass, that means the mass of the water and the mass of the sugar after the reaction, then the form of the product is juice. So juice will be appear of the 6 liter. How much beta? 6 liter. 6 liter will be appear. How? Because the mass of the water is 5 liter and the mass of the sugar is 1 kg. When it combine 5 and 1, then it become also a 6 liter of the juice. Then we clarify that the law of the conservation of mass is state that what is state that is state that if any chemical reaction state that the mass cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. So that means if you want to make a juice, when we take the 5 liter of the water and 5 liter of water and take 1 kg of the sugar, then the product will be appear, then the juice will be appear, will be the 6 liter of juice. Clear? And now we are going to next law of constant proportion. Then what is the law of constant proportion? Now I teach you that law of the conservation of mass. Now I am going to teach you what is the set to law of the constant proportion. Okay. Now law of constant proportion. Law of constant proportion. Look very carefully, students. What this law says, the constant proportion. Constant proportion, that means if constant proportion, if you want, if we want anything to make anything, so then further, then if I want to make something, just like an example, we take an example of water. That means it is water. Water, the chemical formula of water, almost I think H2O. H2O is a formula of water, and the H2O is present. That means the hydrogen, the atomic mass of the hydrogen is 1, and whereas we can say very clearly that the 2 particles of the hydrogen is present in the water. So that's where the multiple of the 2 and the ratio of the oxygen, and the oxygen, the atomic mass of the oxygen is 16, where we clearly see that 2 ratio the 16 and 2 1 2, 2 8 just 16. Now we have the ratio 1:8. Now we have the ratio of 1:8. That means the water is present in the ratio of the 1:8. So that means a constant proportion is said to be when you want to appear a product without equal and exact proportion, the product will not be appeared. Clear? That means law of constant proportion is state that without any equal and constant, equal and exact proportion of the elements of the compound is not present, then the product will be not appear. That means there are the 2 elements we can say very easily, we can see very easily, the hydrogen and the other is oxygen. Oxygen and hydrogen and oxygen, it is the water, and where we can see the water is present in which ratio student? It is present in the ratio of 1:8 ratio. There we can see, here we can see very clearly. And if we change that H2 convert into O2, look here very clearly that it is acidic. That's name is hydrogen peroxide. Now I am going to tell you that how it changed. You can say very clearly that hydrogen is also here and oxygen is also here. That hydrogen is also here, oxygen. Elements are same. Elements are same. But my dear students, when elements are same, it is not any things, but if we change the ratio, it is the ratio of 1:8. If we change the ratio, then the compound is also changed. Where here we can say, we can see very clearly that here is present 1:8, and there is present we are going to calculate the atomic mass of the compound, atomic mass which that compound how much ratio is here, how much ratio is there. Now we are going to know about the hydrogen, atomic mass of the hydrogen and the atomic mass of the oxygen, where we can see now the atomic mass of the hydrogen is 1 multiplied by where the two particles of the hydrogen is present in the compound, in the hydrogen peroxide, the two atoms of the hydrogen is present in the compound, then multiply by 2, a ratio, and the ratio of the oxygen is the atomic mass of the oxygen is 16, and 16 multiplied by 2, because the two particles of the oxygen is present in here. Then now 2 ratio 16 to the 32, clear, and 202 or 2 6 12, there the ratio of the 1 and the 16. Elements are same, but the elements of the ratio of that compound, that water is 1:8, where we can see when the changing of the ratio, the compound is also changed. Clear? When we change the ratio of any compound, element are same. If you see that the green board, in your green board, we can see easily that the hydrogen and oxygen is present here, and the hydrogen and the oxygen is also present here. But if we change the ratio of the compound, then the product is also changed. Clear? That's mean the law of constant proportion is also state that if we change the ratio of the compound, then the compound is also changed. Clear? Now we are going to Dalton's atomic theory. It is the second topics of your book, Dalton's atomic theory. Dalton's atomic theory. Look my dear student very carefully. Now I am going to revise the Dalton's atomic theory. That's the atomic, what the Dalton says on the atoms, because I think we shall discuss about the Dalton atomic theory, but we discussed already about the Dalton's theory in previous videos. Now I am going to again revise to Dalton's atomic theory. That what the Dalton says on the atoms, on the theory, what the theory says and what the theory given by the Daltons, we are going to discuss again. First, Dalton says that atom is a smallest particle in any matter. That means Dalton says that atom is a very smallest particle, very teeny particle in any matter. Which matter? Better that I know very clearly, very well. That I am talking about that matter which I know, solid, liquid, gas. That I was talking. That I am talking. That things. Yeah, that matter. First theory of the Daltons is that Dalton says that atom is very tiny particle tiny particle in any matter. In any matter. That's mean which I observed that which matter was solid, is solid, liquid and gas, whatever we can say that the atom is a very tiny particle in any matter which is solid, liquid, gas. That atom is a very tiny particle. With the Dalton says that first theory of the Dalton's is the atom is a very tiny particle in any matter. In any matter we can say that tiny particle which is solid, which is liquid, which is gas, doesn't matter. In the thin matter there are I am talking that matter better which is solid, liquid and gas. I am talking that matter. So don't be confused. Now we are going to the second theory of the Dalton's theory of the second theory. The second theory of the Dalton's is atoms are indivisible. That atoms are indivisible particle which cannot be created or destroyed in chemical reaction. That means all the atoms are indivisible particle. That means indivisible particle. I am denoted this words beta. Indivisible particle. All the atoms are indivisible particle. If we think why the atoms are the indivisible particle which cannot be created and destroyed in a chemical reaction. Now I am going to take one example. The example is sodium chloride, sodium NaCl, and it's combined to form NaCl. Look here very carefully, Na positive and Cl negative. Now if you think that a lot of students was confused that what is positive and what is negative, it is our basic things. Now we will discuss about next chapters. We will discuss in next chapter. I will teach you, don't worry. Then the sodium and the chlorine Dalton said in second theory that the atoms are the indivisible particle which cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. That means the atom of the sodium and the atom of the chlorine, which combine it after the reaction, it form the sodium chloride, that is salt. It not form another things. That's if we combine the sodium and chlorine, so it always form the sodium chloride, is not form the another things. That means if you think that sodium and chlorine, if we react the sodium and chlorine and it form the curd and form the milk, if you think, so that is not possible, na? So is it possible? It is not possible. That is sodium and the chlorine, if we combine the sodium and the chlorine, it always form the sodium and sodium chloride. That means salt. It always form salt, not milk, not curd, not anything. That means the Dalton's atomic theory, second atomic theory, says that the atoms are an indivisible particle. That means the sodium particle is always remain same and the chlorine particle is always remain same, and the reaction of the sodium and chlorine, the form of the product is sodium chloride is always same, always remains same. It never be changed, because the particle of the sodium and the chlorine is never be changed. That's the atoms are indivisible. It is the second theory of the Dalton's atomic theory. Now we are going to go on the third theory of the Dalton's, and a third theory of the Dalton's is atoms of the given element, given element, atom of the given element, atom of the given element are identical in mass, are identical in mass and chemical reaction, The third theory of the Dalton's is, my dear student, the Daltons said that the atoms of the given element are identical in mass and the chemical reaction. Think about it. What is said? I am going to read once again that the atoms of the given element are identical in mass and the chemical reaction. Look here, beta. If now I take example, if the same example of the sodium and the chlorine. If we take the sodium is 1 gram and the chlorine is also 1 gram, then the product will appear. That means the sodium chloride will appear, the gram of the sodium and the gram of the chlorine is added to each other and the product will be appear on beta 2 gram of the product. That's mean atoms of the given element are identical. That means the atom of the sodium is identical. That means the atom of the sodium is remain always the sodium atoms, and the chlorine's atoms is always remain the chlorine's atom. It's combining, when it combine the sodium and chloride, it form the sodium chloride, that is salt, and the salt is never be changed, is always remain same. It always remains same. That's mean the sodium, if the sodium and chlorine, if we combine the sodium and chlorine, it always form the sodium chloride. It is not form any another things, anything. That's it is the third theory of the Daltons. And the Daltons say the atom of the given element are identical in mass and the chemical reaction. So that's mean the sodium and the chlorine, if we combine the sodium and the chlorine, then it always form the sodium chloride. It's not form the another things. Clear? And now we are going to move on the fourth theory of the Daltons. And the Dalton's fourth theory is the different elements, the different element have different atomic mass and chemical properties Look very carefully, my dear students, that the fourth theory of the Daltons is state the different element have the different atomic masses and the chemical reaction. Obviously we can say that if the sodium and the chlorine, we take another we take same example of the sodium the chloride, and now we are going to understand that why of the different element have the different atomic masses and the chemical properties. Look here very carefully, my dear student, where the sodium of the atom, if we can say that if the mass of the water and the mass of the any solid particle, that mean we can say that any sand, the mass of the sand and the mass of the sand atom and the mass of the water atom, if we compare to each other mass of the solid atom is more than the mass of the liquid atom, because the water is a liquid and the sand is the solid form. So that's mean all the elements, all the atoms are different in masses. That mean if we take a duster, that's the atom of the duster and the atoms of the chalk, so that it is not be same na beta, it is not be same, it is that the atoms of their masses, so that it is not be same, that is the different. That's mean the different elements with different atomic mass and the chemical properties, and the chalk have the properties is that too we can written in the board, in the green board, but duster is the property of to rubbing the matter which are written in green board. So that's mean the property of the atoms is also different, that the different atoms. That's mean the property of the Dalton's atomic theory is state that the different elements have the different atomic masses and the chemical properties. So that's mean we can say that the different elements have the different masses and the different chemical properties. Okay, now we are going to fifth theory of the Daltons, and the fifth theory of the Daltons is atom combine in the ratio of small whole number to form compound. Small whole number to form compound. Small whole number to form compound. Look, my dear student, the atoms and the theory of the fifth theory of the Daltons is that the atoms combine in the ratio of a small whole number to form the compound. That means if we say the chemical formula of water is H2O, and H2O is present in the ratio of 1:8 in the ratio which I taught you before sometimes I taught you that the water is present in the ratio of 1:8 ratio. That means the atoms of the atom combine in the ratio of the small whole number to form the compound. That means the hydrogen is the ratio if we compare here that the ratio of hydrogen and the oxygen between them, then it 1:8. That means the small whole number when it combine that is also form a compound. Then it is also form compound. It is the fifth theory of the Daltons. And now we are going to sixth and the last theory of the Dalton's atomic theory. And the sixth, the relative number and kind of atom are and the kind of atom are constant in a given compound. Look very carefully, my dear students. The relative number and the kind of the atom constant in a given compound. That means if we take the same example of the sodium chloride, that means the Na and Cl, if we combine the sodium, it forms the sodium chloride. That means the Na positive and Cl negative, when it combine to each other, then the form of the product is always remain constant. That means if we combine, that means the relative number and the kind of the atom, that the kind of the atom means that the atom of the sodium is different and the chlorine atom is also the different. When it combine to each other, the form of the product is always remain constant, is always become a constant. That's mean the theory of the sixth theory of the Dalton is state that it says that the relative number, that's mean the number of the atom, that's the kind of the atom is different, and the kind of the chlorine atom, it is different to each other. Then when it combine to each other, the form of the product is the sodium chloride, that is salt, is become constant. It is the sixth theory of the Daltons. Now we are going to discuss about size of atom. Size of atom. We know that the atom is a very tiny particle in any matter. That size of an atom, how we can say that what is the size of the atoms? What is the size of the atoms? That's it also calculated by the scientists. What is the size of the atom? What is the size of the atom? The size of the atoms, which we can say that the hydrogen is a first element in your periodic table. If you say, you will see in your periodic table, I think that's it. True, that is the first element in your periodic table. That the hydrogen, the atomic radius of the hydrogen, we can say that the atomic radius of the hydrogen is very tiny. That 10 raised to power minus 10. 10 raised to power minus 10. That means the atoms of the hydrogen. The atom of the hydrogen is very tiny. That means we can say that the size of the atoms of the hydrogen is 10 to the power minus 10. 10 to the power minus 10. It is the size of the hydrogen atom, and therefore, if you see in your book, there where a table is already there. So then you can see that. Now we are going to move. What is molecules? That what is molecules? Molecules, if we take an example to form a building, that's if you want to make a building, that I think it is very important that we have to take a lot of bricks. Then we combine, then we put over the bricks, then it form wall of the buildings. That's same as it is the molecules may be defined when two or more atoms to combine to each other. It is chemically bonded. That is chemically bonded to each other. The one or two or more atoms, when two or more atoms combined to each other, bonded to each other in a chemical reaction, that a chemical properties, then we can say that it is a molecules. It is a molecules. Now we are going to move on last topic, which is element, and second is compound. What is element and what is compound? Element are those pure substances which cannot be further simplified. That's mean, for example, hydrogen, sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, etc. And the compound are those pure substances which form two or more element. For example, HCl, NaCl, H2SO4, etc. That means what is element and compound? The element are those pure substances which cannot be further simplified. That means the elements is always remain in the simplified, is always in simplified. That means the sodium, now we can say that the sodium, if you think that the sodium we can say that the sodium is a simplified form. That means the element are those pure substances which cannot be further simplified. That means the elements cannot be further simplified. That it already present in the simplified form. So that's we can say that the element is always remain in the simplified form. And now we are going to compound. What is compound? The compound are those pure substances which are formed to or more element. Compound are those substances which is pure and it always form in the form of two. If we see in your green board, if you see in your green board, then where the hydrogen is one element, the chlorine is one element. The formation of hydrogen chloride, that's a hydrochloric acid, it is a compound, but it made up two elements, which is first is hydrogen and the second is chlorine. And now second, sodium chloride. Sodium is a element and the chlorine is also element. There are two elements. When the combined two or more elements, that two elements are combined, then it form the compound. So that's now I am going to stop that topic which I taught you. Thank you.